What's up, everybody? Normies coming at you with a little bit of The Wire, Season 1, Episode 13, Sentencing. And before we get started, I would like to tell you guys what our editor, Dustin, has sent me. Also, I would like to say that a lot of these points that Dustin says are things that I also mirror in my personal beliefs about the show.
Oh my god.
Dustin says, Stringer and Avon are legit terrible people. Personally, I feel like this is getting glossed over a bit much, though I think you were trying to talk about it more in episode 112 discussion. But they probably have more money than they know what to do with, and they're willing to fuck over nearly anyone below them if it means that they get to stay in power. They're disgusting, and they're preying on people struggling with addiction. Stringer taught taking night classes to learn actual business doesn't make him better, it makes him worse. Yes, he could be a legit businessman, but it won't ever matter because he's an asshole who will use the people below him to get to the top. Although, what good businessman doesn't do that? The game is made up. It's all unwritten rules and expectations about not snitching and taking care of other people in the game is bullshit designed to keep those at the top in power. It amazes me that more people aren't just looking out for themselves, but I guess that's the indoctrination from the top doing its work. D'Angelo sticking up for himself while in custody has been my favorite moment of the whole entire season. It is great. Where's Wallace? Big fucking moment. But I also love how all of this is mirrored in the police/bureaucracy of Baltimore. Most of the people in the detail are flawed, but mostly good people. Same with most of Dee's crew. But the higher up you go, the worse the people are. The people in power just want to stay in power and are always threatened by the possibility of that being taken away. So anyway,
is this from Dustin?
Yeah, it's from Dustin.
Damn.
So anyway, too long, didn't read.
Why don't we put this on a blog?
It's about power and how those in power want to fuck whoever's below them for their own gain. Both factions of those in power are bad, but the people working underneath them are usually the pretty good ones.
Dustin, you're so insightful.
So Dustin is a smart editor. But
Wow.
I don't know.
Reduce him to his profession.
I just don't know because come on, man, you can't blame Stringer.
Nah,
that's all they know.
He's got a solid point.
Look,
he's a drug dealer.
Dustin.
Regardless, you brought crack to the neighborhood, you're not the hero.
But that crack was going to be there regardless.
Nah, you brought crack to the neighborhood, you're not the hero.
Truth, but also it's heroin. They really want us to clarify it's heroin.
Oh yeah,
heroin?
Sorry.
Yeah, it's been heroin.
Oh, I thought it was coke.
Bub is a dope fiend. He's not a cokehead, you know. If he's a cokehead, he'd be a little more
different.
Lively.
I guess that makes sense, Dustin. I wasn't listening to half of it because it didn't sound like it was important, but I'm totally kidding. You make sense. But Stringer Bell and Avon, they're just like cool. You know what I mean? I know they're fucked up,
cool
but they're just
definitely cool.
They got the swag, the drip, the coming in. They got the slow motion walk, overhead shot at one time when they came in.
Real talk. If you give anybody a slow motion shot, sir, just like, I want to be that guy.
Right,
that's
mad respect.
Every single show.
Mad respect.
One slow mo walk is here.
I give my banana to a slow up.
On the real shit, I'm sad Spidey and I missed last episode because that was very sad, man. I finally heard "Where's Wallace" at the end, and then it makes so much sense. That shit was sad to watch, man. I had to rewind that shit. I'm like, this is deep. Hits you deep. The homies, you know what I mean?
Never cried.
They grew up together.
Well, how'd you feel about it, Spidey?
When, we knew, I'm forgetting his name right now. The light-skinned dude knew
Bodie.
he was going to do it. Yeah. Knew Bodie had it in him, wasn't worried about it. I didn't think the friend was going to finish it off.
Poop. Yeah, Poop.
Yeah, Poop really, that kind of fucked me up.
Bodie did have it in him. He was still shaking it.
He didn't want to do it. I think Poop aided Monty to do it too. And he's like, I think Poop was the final.
I think Poop's just trying to move his way up.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this is why my cat's named Bodie, because when we got him, he was in the...
He's murdering his friends?
He was absolutely fighting every single cat in the fucking little cat kennel. We were like, we're going to take this asshole, I guess. And then he tried to murder Ziggy, and he's tried to murder every puppy on the block, so... Murder Sydney, he's tried to murder me and Marquetta. He's drawn blood from at least 5 human beings.
And y'all just sleep soundly with this animal in your household?
Hey man,
my boy.
This is fucked up.
But it's always good to have a Bodie around because he can get you. He ain't gonna fuck around.
He's my baby.
It was fucked up. They took him out for one last meal. They were like, let's go eat some burgers and fries or whatever the hell. And I'm like, dude, what is this? The mafia?
Hot dog.
I guess it is kind of like the mafia.
He didn't even eat it.
Yeah, he didn't even eat it. Yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
That's probably-
R.I.P.
I don't know. Is
It's
this a
probably one of the
market?
saddest moments in the show so far. It's not a market substitute, guys. Make sure you support the OG content on your own. Also, feel free to support the Normies over on Patreon. Supporting Normies on Patreon means you get uncut, you get to watch ahead, and you get to see the skits. And also, while I'm saying this point, hi, Dad. I know that you've become a ridiculous fan of the Normies. You're probably watching this, even though you've never watched The Wire. It's not a market substitute, dog. I'll give you my Hulu password to watch The Wire. Also, don't call me after you see this, like you've been doing every single time you watch one of the videos. I'm just kidding. Call me. I love it. He's become a huge fan. He called me up and was like, hey, that pissing shit, that shit was hilarious. I was like, right on. Then he calls me 20 minutes later. He's like, this Pulp Fiction shit, that shit's hilarious.
That's awesome, bro.
That's dope.
I absolutely love you, Dad. Please call me. I'm just fucking with you.
Chemo.
How's she waking up?
Hey,
Oh, she gonna be sterilized, though.
my girl.
Little man, for sure.
It was him, Arrow.
You guys catching what Bunk's doing here?
Yeah.
Yep, he's just telling him which one to pick, right? Isn't that illegal?
Little man, the other one. He's outside in the dark.
Hey man, just say you saw Bay. Just say it. You know it was him.
Freeman, he tracked a call from the payphone near the scene to string a bell. They left a print off a soda can near that phone, and that matches little man.
Because of Lester fucking Freeman.
This shit's in the bag, freak.
Sounds like they have the
Almost
evidence.
enough, but
Yeah, all we need is her to say it.
you need eyewitness.
What you trying to do over
An
here?
ID of both your shooters would play a whole lot easier come trial.
Isn't that wrong?
Everybody's just a little bit
Right.
dirty in the show.
Sometimes things just gotta play hard.
That's what's up, girl. That's why I like her.
What? I mean, everybody knows he did it.
Yeah, but you gotta come on, you gotta trust the legal system, too, you know? And plus, I like Weebay, come on, man.
Pat says we should trust the legal system.
The Weebay, come on, man, y'all don't like the Weebay
Just
mean you want him to
finger-
go away,
Jack,
come
you don't
on.
get to be on my high
You should just
school.
finger the dude, man. Just. It was Weebay.
All in the game.
All in the
Traditional Westside Baltimore saying.
Does that mean everyone's gonna be saying it?
Fish that limit. Let's go home, sir. Huh? Let's go home, sir. You're looking at a soon-to-be mate, son, aren't you?
This is hilarious.
Showing the proper respect. So let's go home.
His face.
Right?
Whoop your ass. You about to whoop that ass, shut the fuck up.
Man, the game's getting broken up. I'm kind of sad. Like they had an all-star dream team over here. Now it's like it's wrapping up.
Like Misfit All-Star Dream Team. Love it.
We need something now. They're gonna shut us down unless we come up with something fresh to run with right now.
How about the feds?
You think the deputy's gonna let you take this mess federal?
Why does the deputy need to know?
Well, back on my bullshit.
What fucking shit? It's Rhonda Perlman. Just got a call from an assistant public defender in North Jersey who claims to represent a man by the name of D'Angelo Barksdale.
Oh, he got a new lawyer?
Go.
Man, come on, when you guys grow up, you kind of want to be like them, you know, like, come on, look at them, they're cool kids.
Milk.
You can be cool without all the murder and sabotage.
Come on, man. They made it.
Pat, if you bring heroin to the Indian community, it's never going to change. Like it is going to destroy your life.
My gut tells me a wire, either a phone or two, or maybe something in a room somewhere.
I don't know, man. I mean, if they got a mic up in there, they got you and me saying all kind of shit.
These fucking shots, man.
Yeah, you notice that was kind of like a little fisheye right there.
One of the ways to limit your exposure is what's called a structured plea. That means that you're gonna have to deliver your people, all of them, down to a man.
Damn.
They're gonna give up everyone?
That's dirty.
The longer we hold off, the harder it's gonna be for us to maintain them towers.
You wanna get it back up? You lean to me in the string here.
Nah, I ain't down yet. She's right, bro. You can't take a second chance here. We here for you.
Alright.
That's a good family right there, bro.
You gotta make it a serious smoker. I mean, I want them motherfucking fiends in the projects. I want them dropping like flies. You feel me?
That's your man requesting stronger drugs.
To literally put people the fuck out.
I'm just saying.
But he's a businessman. He wants to bring up his own.
I already told you, I don't know nothing about that witness being killed.
Which witness?
Jesus. You did, huh?
Yeah, about the same time you did the boy.
What boy?
Wallace?
Wallace.
No, I can't even look.
All them bodies.
See, but they're trying to play off his emotions right here.
Yeah, no
Feel
shit.
so bad, man.
I don't know what you like, man.
Wallace. He was trying to like.
I don't know, man, what I want either.
Shit.
He saw the boy, but he really ain't think about what they do. They dropped the body where we see it. He couldn't handle that. After seeing that, he wanted to get out.
I mean, he's just a kid.
Then about a week ago, my uncle and String, they called me down to the club. Stringer, he's all worried about Wallace, and I told him. I said, Wallace ain't no snitch. I should have done more.
It's not his fault.
Your client must realize that any agreement is dependent on his full cooperation.
Well, yo, there ain't nothing else.
Good girl.
Which girl?
Murders don't go away.
Big go.
Deirdre.
Did you do it?
Yeah, Weebay take me over there. You know, I walked up, knocked on the door. She came to the door, all naked and shit with this little ass robe on.
So she's your uncle's girl, but she comes to the door for you naked.
She used to do that shit with me all the time, man. You know how girls do. Maybe you don't.
Smoked them.
So I turned around, started walking back to the truck, and I heard this shot. Weebay, he come running back with this big-ass 45 he liked to use so much. Tells me how he was tapping on the window real soft.
Yeah, that's exactly how they deduced it during that fuck scene.
When she gets up to the window and looks out.
You did good, D'Angelo.
Is he gonna get witness protection for this shit?
He just snitched on everything.
Hey man, fuck that. Go D'Angelo.
I mean, he better get witness
Go
protection.
That's
D'Angelo.
Australia or something. Holy fuck. Look at this shit, man.
Right? He needs to, like, go
So
to a
many
different
bodies, though.
state. At least.
Grew up in this shit. My grandfather was Butch Stanford. My father, my uncles, our cousins. It's just what we do. You just live with this shit until you can't breathe no more. I was courtside for 8 months, and I was free in jail than I was at home.
Damn.
What are you looking for?
I wanted to go away.
I can't.
I want what Wallace wanted. I want to start over. That's what I want. I don't care where, anywhere.
Yes, yes.
Give me that, and I'll give you them.
Yes, please.
I like this.
Pat, how you feel? Actually, hold that thought. We'll talk in discussion.
Jesus, I feel like I've been drunk ever since that kid started talking to us.
You're gonna drive. I can drop you
Yeah,
home.
that was a solid W for them.
Good, I'm great. Fucking great.
Oh no, now I'm scared.
Yeah, it's too happy now.
Levy's the other day, I was
Yeah!
I knew it.
Meet that post case fuck, baby.
McNulty just like immediately hands.
Parking lot pussy.
You never dated the headquarters garage before?
Okay. There appears to be a history there.
Into the car. Let us fuck. Hell yeah.
What's happening?
I mean, the SUV's right there, though. Why would I got an SUV? Right?
3 parts of this to 1 overall. And that's how we're gonna do it until we get the new stash. I want you to put the word out there that we back up.
That's fake ass shit.
Right? 3 parts, motherfucker?
If you can help us squeeze the Barksdale kid into a witness protection program, we can run wild with this thing.
No suppliers, though. To run with you on this, we need a recognized OC target. Or even better, a connect to counterterrorism or corruption.
You and your stuff like that?
Corruption. Daniels, say it.
What kind of corruption?
Don't know. What kind you got?
This is great.
Oh, this fucking bitch ass Bodie, bro. I hate him.
Bitch ass Bodie.
Why have you done this to our son?
My son.
Look at this asshole. That's our cat.
That's our cat.
Your cat
He's
is
fucking
film
echo
along.
keys
So
on, bro.
badass. I hate
About to fuck somebody up.
What?
They're selling him the pit. He's in the pit.
Puts just like trying to
Dude,
not.
what are you even doing?
They fuck up, they get beat. We fuck up, they give us pensions.
Oh my god, that's so true.
Damn.
That's in a nutshell. In a nutshell right there, Carver just summed it up.
She wants me to quit. She says ain't nothing worth this.
It's reasonable.
You do what you need to, but she's right. It isn't worth it.
Probably not.
She's not gonna stop.
What took you so long getting up in here? No cards, no flowers.
Asshole Jimmy. He was getting his fuck on.
Still got that stank on his dick.
Mm-hmm.
In a case like this, it's always you or Sidner or some other black cop who ends up going undercover. You swear if I could do it over?
This motherfucker's eyes are killing me.
You know what I'd do? Put more tape on that fucking gun.
Since I got you up in here acting like my bitch and shit. All your guilty ass crying and whatnot.
Hit up the vending machine.
Give me some jello, bitch.
She said you were doing good.
Ah, Bubs. I almost forgot about
But she wanted you to have that and told me to tell you she's sorry to be late with it.
Get better for her. Come on.
Enough of what I got going on now, man. Give the rest back to her.
What? That's what's up.
You sure?
I love their relationship.
Don't tell her.
Damn.
Oh, he's back on it.
Bubbles.
Yeah. God, the show.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, Bubs is back in it.
Oh my god, I love Lester, and I just love it. He's such a fucking.
The world is on its ass.
I know Carm did it.
That's what 2020 is, bitch. The world's on his ass, bro. Lester, I'm getting the youngins.
Can your cooperator give us the senator or any other political figure?
The cooperator?
D'Angelo Barksdale. What does he have for us on the money?
Nothing.
Fuck the politicians. It's Barksdale and Bell. There's a drugs and murder don't cut it anymore.
So stupid, man. So fucking dumb, dude.
West Baltimore is dying, and you empty suits are running around trying to pin some politician's pelt to the wall.
But the politician, isn't he the source, though? Like,
McNulty. Woof! Woof! Burning bridges left and right.
But the corruption is
stay
kind
alone
of
on
the
an
source
island.
of all the rest of the fallout from it. I mean, I don't know if it's going to fix everything, but, you know, like guys like Barksdale and Avon, I mean, and Stringer will still be there, but I don't know, arresting the politician might help a little bit.
Family is the Hardys say. I'm family, ain't I? What about me for once? They giving me a chance to walk away.
Mom's gonna kill you.
Mm-hmm. Mom's gonna kill you.
And what you giving them?
Everything.
When you hurt him, you hurt this whole family.
You.
Me and Trina and the cousins. This right here is part of the game, D. How the fuck you gonna start over without your peoples? Without your own child, even. You ain't got family in this world. What the hell you got?
Oof. I feel like it's too late now, Mama.
What's up, LT? Anything you want to tell me?
This is some bad shit.
Right? I hate this shit.
The deputy ops knows what's going on in this unit almost before I do. Except last week, for once, he's a step behind. I look around the office, and I see that one of my people is at the academy for in-service.
Oh god, this dude's always in trouble.
He's the one that's been snitching, bro? He's the one that's been...
And there's the deputy fucking ops telling me how concerned he is about the case. He needs to be informed.
That's why he's moving up. Oh.
So dirty. So dirty all around.
It's dirty, but you can't blame him, man.
A couple of weeks from now, you're going to be in some district somewhere with 11 or 12 uniforms looking to you for everything. You show loyalty, they learn loyalty. You show them it's about the work, it'll be about the work. You show them some other kind of game, then that's the game they'll play.
Damn. Good shit.
It's fucking right, man.
Impart that wisdom, Daniels.
I came on in the Eastern, and it was a piece of shit lieutenant hoping to be a captain. Piece of shit sergeants hoping to be lieutenants. Pretty soon we have piece of shit patrolmen trying to figure the job for themselves. And some of what happens then is hard as hell to live down.
Is he talking about systemic issues?
I think he's talking about that money you got too.
Comes a day you're gonna have to decide whether it's about you or about the work.
It's when your dad tells you that you fucked up, but instead of getting mad,
I'm
he just gives you
disappointed.
advice.
No.
You're like, oh,
it's like
that's
saying
even
I'm
worse.
disappointed in you without like being mean or loud or anything. You just threw that at him.
I am disappointed.
I didn't think
I'm not
it was
upset, I'm
Carver,
just
man, out of all the people on the team. Shit.
Yeah, but I mean, didn't they say they're trying to keep Carver down purposely, and now they're trying to bring him back up?
This man comes out in his
I
drawers.
didn't know about is getting arrested in my underwear.
Hey, they don't even fuck around, bro. He didn't have a chance. He came out there shitty.
I don't know why you came up with a hood and everything. You're so like, there's no reason to be like, it's just so funny, bro. I can't.
They're gonna know it was D though.
Because they know he cares about his car.
No, he didn't have to wear a hood or anything. He could have just broke it. Like, they're just like everywhere.
You got a problem with the lawyer?
This is he.
I knew he was gonna flip back.
Fucking mama dug her
I
claws in.
But he already has like a statement, doesn't he?
He told them, but he's probably gonna recant all of it or some shit.
For the number of clearances I'm looking at here, I mean, Christ, for the first time this year, we got the clearance rate up over 40%. On the other hand, I know the deputy ops got a call from the first deputy U.S. attorney this morning asking whether an asshole such as yourself really works for us. I gotta admit, you got some stones on you. Did you actually call the first deputy an empty suit?
Fucking idiot.
I want to see you land okay, Jimmy.
Okay.
So tell me.
Where do you want to go?
Where don't you want to go?
Don't tell.
Wow, McNulty.
Say the opposite of where you don't want to go.
Maybe we acknowledge you've got Mr. Bryce called for the murder of Orlando Blocker and the wounding of the police officer.
Who?
We be.
Representing Mr. Bryce, I'm fairly confident that to avoid the death penalty, he'll proffer to at least half dozen of your open murders.
God damn.
For that kind of cooperation, I'd be willing to consider straight life.
No, indeed. I believe Mr. Bryce is ready to take sole responsibility for all of his crimes. Still, you walk away with at least a half dozen clearances.
Are they just gonna kill you right now?
You take the strip club, you take whatever trucks and cars you can link to the drug trafficking, and of course, whatever cash you've seized.
He's got dozens of other properties.
So you keep most of the money, most of the real estate, and Stringer Bell stays on the street with his hand on the throttle.
If you have a charge against Mr. Bell, file it. Otherwise, it's my understanding that nothing in all those hours of tape implicates him.
This lawyer is smart.
The little smirk on his face. I fucking hate him. He's good though. He's like Saul.
3 or 4 years ain't enough more.
Yeah, he's exactly smart.
Not for Avon Barksdale.
Make an offer.
Bro, Saul Goodman would give him a run for his money. That's all I'm saying.
Man, Saul's fun to watch. This dude's a greasy, slimy little meatball.
Mr. Barksdale is offering a plea of guilty in exchange for a maximum of 7 years. In accepting this plea, Mr. Barksdale acknowledges his role in procuring those drugs with the intent to dilute, package,
Yeah, it's all full circle, bro. This is like the first episode where they're sitting. Oh man, it's so good.
How about them witnesses? The security lady, the maintenance man. Can? Yeah.
It was Lee Bay the whole
You did
time.
get alone.
I fucking hate him.
No, but he's taking a rep for someone else. He's doing that the good thing.
Is
Someone
he?
else did it. He's taking a rep for them.
But they already had somebody in court for that.
Congrats. Thanks. So where they send you? Northwest. Spurgeon's retiring. Hey, you ever feel like a change, give a yell. Could use a good shift, Lieutenant.
That was supposed to be Daniels.
That's fucked up.
I mean, he knew what he was doing. A bit by the McNulty bug.
You take their money, then you send them around, let some other niggas serve. The way you doing it, someone snapping pictures got the whole deal.
Word for word, same dialogue. Oh my god, that's so good. It's so good. It's so
You
good.
gotta tighten up around here, yo.
Time is a flat circle.
Who said that before? Was that D? Who said the same shit that Poot just said?
As Mr. Barksdale has 2 prior convictions and is insisting that the effort to purchase and transport the kilo was undertaken on his own behest and is refusing to cooperate against others in the conspiracy, the state is offering only the maximum allowable 20 years, Your Honor.
Damn.
Bro, 20
This is your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
Very well then, Mr. Barks.
Bro, you could have gone free.
He's doing it for his family, I guess, man. For his cousin Trina and Mama and all them shits.
He also takes William Gant. Well, how'd he tell him? Boom. What, he said a contact wound? Yeah, doesn't play.
So he's taking for somebody else.
He's taking life, no parole for shooting a cop. What the fuck? Might as well try to spring bird for killing Gant.
All right.
Weebay's a loyal soldier, I guess. I'll give him that.
I mean, that motherfucker, what, 20-something? Maybe 30?
What's
About
it
to be
gonna
in jail
get
for
him,
life.
though? Like, he's gonna do life.
Like, you in jail for life at the age of 30. That's a grip, bro.
Yeah, come at me, boy. You can't get me.
He's going to jail.
He got him.
He's gonna get out of jail soon.
So what did they say? Is Avon gonna go away for 7 years? Is that what they said?
The fuck did I do?
She's gonna sit on his face.
Oh my god, yeah.
Very in the back of the courthouse.
Yep.
Put the fire crotch on this man.
I hate this motherfucker.
Same.
Bro.
Fucking
hate
Carver,
Rolls,
bro.
too.
Fuck this. God damn
You
it.
can't get mad at Carver. You can't get
One-
you can't get mad at
Once a
Carver.
Gabriel, always a Gabriel.
I knew you were gonna say it.
What did he say?
Once a Gabriel, always a Gabriel.
Why?
Because he does some fucked up shit in Walking Dead. King, when you going back out there, what you gonna do?
Aw, she's doing so much better than I thought.
Was
she
it worth
Yeah, I
it?
thought she was gonna be
Was it all worth it?
Do you remember this man saying the diesel fumes make him sick out on the boat?
Didn't he say? Did he actually tell him where he didn't want to end up? Why did he say that?
I think he told people out loud before, so they probably all just reported back to Rawls. Damn, seeing them all.
No, I don't know how I feel about this ending.
And Stringer just moves up. Damn. And the wheel keeps spinning.
This is just crazy. Music.
Omar!
Oh my god!
Golly.
All in the game, yo.
There it is.
All in the game.
Run that shit. Omar don't shoot nobody he ain't gotta shoot. Oh man.
That was perfection. This whole season was like that could have been the show right there. Like honestly, that would have been like a really good like mini series right there. Just end it.
Damn, that was really good. So wait, he ended up on the boat. What'd you say, Chris?
So I don't know if you remember Rona earlier.
Audio.
They were talking about how like if they ever ask you where you want to be reassigned, like don't tell them because they're gonna like put you in the worst place. That's like what happened to Lester. So McNulty hated the boats and like the fumes from like the gasoline on the boats, and so I don't know. Maybe I think that's where he told Rawls like I don't want to be. So obviously they assigned him to be there.
Yeah, come on, but he did such a good job, man. Why would I do that to McNulty?
He's been a pain in the ass.
Because he's an asshole.
Because like Serge said, McNulty was born jumping command. Like he absolutely, there's no hierarchy for this man. He's like, if I got a problem, I'll go anywhere to get it done.
But
I
he got
understand,
shit
like,
done.
Did he though?
Did he? I understand Nulty like having his like having convictions and like having a code and like just wanting to do things right. But at the same time, he's like so high up his horse. When the one of the judges that helped him the whole season was there to like shake his hand and he wouldn't. I didn't really understand why.
Well, it's because
like why is he burning all the bridges because
In the
somebody made one mistake or didn't want to do one thing for him? You know what I mean?
In the end of it, old dude changed his back on him, didn't he? He was like, I have to do the political.
I mean, I get it, but like, I get why McNulty was pissed though. Like, they wanted to just pin the politicians, and while I still think that would have done some good.
That wasn't Phelan though.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about when he called those people empty suits.
A bunch of empty suits.
I was talking about the one judge.
You are right, but
guy.
I think with McNulty's whole thing with the politicians, because you're right, Serge, mute yourself, babe, while I'm talking. So you're right that like stopping the politicians from doing the dirt is good, right? But like if you they're trying to go for Senator Clay Davis, right? So cool, you get Clay Davis off. How many other senators are still doing dirt, right? Like how many other drug dealers out there still doing dirt when that isn't gonna solve like the problem? If their whole entire problem is that the west side of Baltimore is a fucking shit show and it's because of this one drug organization, that like taking that drug organization off the board solves that particular problem that they had. But the other group has a completely different problem where they're like, well, there's dirty senators and we got to take care of that problem. So it's like everyone's trying to solve different problems with the same group of people, and it's like it's fucked. Pat has his hand up.
Yeah, so I have a question going on. My understanding was Clay Davis or the politicians were the ones that were actually breeding like the West Side, like Avon Barksdale, like they're helping him. So if you get rid of that, like the head of the snake, then you know.
Yeah, but only thing Clay Davis is doing is taking money from them to set up some bullshit fucking housing fund so that they can like.
But it's over like $200 million.
Yeah, I know, but like that isn't. So
but
that's not the drug problem though. Like that won't solve the drug.
But if you take Senator Clay Davis, you take that corruption out, then you won't have that drug problem because no one's going to fund that drug problem.
Really? They're not selling drugs.
Pat, you think they would stop? Pat, you think they would stop just because Clay Davis would?
If you take off all the senators, then you won't have these drugs.
People don't sell drugs to appease the senators. They sell drugs to make money, and then they have so much money they don't know what to do, so they get invested in politics so that they can make even more money. So taking away Clay Davis does not take away the drug problem because people are going to still continue to start drug kingpins and sell drugs to make money. They're not doing it for the
But isn't the senator giving Avon money and resources?
The only thing
they're giving the senator money.
Oh, they're giving us okay.
Yeah, to like keep their names clean.
It would have been good. It would have been a good dent, but it's not the case that they've been fighting all season long to stop these bodies from dropping on the west side, and like Stringer and Avon just
like there's still people
completely
in the
wrecking
streets.
people's lives. Yeah. So like,
Yeah,
it would have been
my
a
whole
good
understanding
victory
was I
for
thought
a
the senator
different
was
reason.
giving them money.
He also like Clay Davis helps Avon to be like he helps his money be laundered and like clean because he allows him to like buy properties and zone them. Like he has access to all the like zoning. So because of all that, he's able to like buy properties, turn them into businesses like the
Copy shop.
The copy shop.
And the funeral parlor.
The funeral parlor or the Orlando's. So like, and they did say that he had like whole blocks of buildings that are like vacated. So he can, with the amount of money he has, he can quickly turn them and turn them into something that will earn him more money.
I honestly, all that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm done.
All that could have been taken away if just D just stuck with like the snitching and everything. I know that was his family, and like families stick up for each other and stuff, but they almost had him. All that could have been gone. The towing company, the funeral parlor, everything.
I couldn't really hear what Marquetta was saying, but I'm assuming you said Clay Davis sounds like a middle school.
Clay Davis does sound like a middle school, but don't be talking shit about Ben Davis like
I'm
that.
about to
Spidey, what were you about to say?
I was thinking about Ben Davis. I do not fucking know. What were we just talking about?
We were talking about the general corrupt. Well, how about this? What problems were solved in this whole entire season?
Oh yeah. No, old dude won if. Yeah, no. What I was saying, D'Angelo's going to jail for 20 years now because your mom came and talked you into it so that the family could keep on making money. Old dude, fucking Avon basically is still going to jail, but he's just going to kingpin it up because all his shit's still going to run because they're not losing any of the property. He bought all this property that he knew these senators were going to change as far as the housing developments, put his money into that. Now he's going to flip all the shit that he bought for millions of dollars. Why was he even selling drugs? Like at that point, you own a city as a drug kingpin. Like he could have done so much more, but no,
I think it's
the money keeps coming.
I think that people like if you're selling drugs, you become a kingpin. I think it's more. It's less about the money at some point. At some point in time, it has to become less about the money and more about its power.
It's power.
I read this shit. I can do what I want to. If I say your name to the right motherfucker, you're dead. It's like magic.
Yep.
Like I literally whisper your name to Weebay, and then your body pops up behind a reptile house.
But also they were real on more of because the money. Because he was like, well, we need to make this shit strong. I want people dropping dead. Like,
see, that's not about the money. That's about the tell me back.
Power.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Ronna?
An example of power and like names just drop. If people dropping just because of your name, it's. Obviously, Omar's name scares the hell out of me personally, but it was also like these grandfathers named Buck something, whatever. He was like, my grandpa Buck whatever, and everybody's like, oh yeah.
That's just sad, man. That just shows how systemic it's all been. Like this is their life, and like he said, like you just take it until you can't breathe anymore, and then Mama comes and I guess breathes some new life into him.
And it just sucks because D was like, I just want to breathe like normal folk. Like, and now he's like suffocating more, in my opinion. It just sucks. Like, and it like.
Well, he's free in jail because
he did. Yeah, he did say that.
He was free. Yeah, he did. I mean, like, I just feel like even if like D snitched, like I know he'd been away from his family and everything, but like they would have found their footing. His mom made it sound like there would not be a family. They could never get a job.
I mean, he would have been on his own. He'd have to leave his son and shit, which that would probably be the hard part.
But now he's not gonna see his son for 20 years now.
Too, though, like it's hard. Those like the streets are hard. It's hard to keep people together too, because like it's just hard, money and everything. But
he's not gonna see his son for 20 years still. Like I mean that's still.
His son will be able to see him during visiting. What I want to put into just a quick perspective is everybody in this room is just over 30 or slightly under 30. 20 years means you get out when you're 50, and if you're lucky, you get another 20 years to 25.
No,
so
thank you.
That's the best parts of your life you're about to spend in fucking prison. You could that's.
If you've ever been in court and heard someone sentence you time, it's
one of the fucking
different.
And then also Bay's going in for life, and Bay is at most 30. So if Bay lives a long, fulfilled life, that motherfucker dies in 45 years. 45 years in prison.
In prison.
In prison.
But he's gonna be running the prison though.
Doesn't matter.
He'll probably be safe.
He can't go where he want to go. He can't do what he want to do.
He can't TikTok.
In
man.
fact, he's gonna have a lot of boy pussy there. And I don't know if that's what he wants yet.
The soap is extra slippery from what I understand.
So I wanted to say something about D. Whatever you guys were talking about the other side of what is his name? D'Angelo. Like saying like like the case would have been made if he would have not flipped, and like how he got sweet talked by his mom, but like. Think about this, like he said, this is all he knows. This is all his family knows. It's going to be hard for his family to kind of live it well now to like switch immediately and restart all over. Like her mom can't go get a regular job and do because this is all she knows. So what can she go do and like have the same kind of lifestyle that she's having right now? And for him, again,
maybe you have to change your lifestyle.
But he's also taking care of his family. Like you got like it's going to be hard to tell your family no. Like I don't think anybody. If somebody's gonna tell you, "Hey, take this rep for your family," you're gonna take that rep for your family.
Would you do it, Pat? Would you do?
Yeah, I would. If it's for my family, hell yeah.
20 years,
bro. If it means my family gets to live good and like all that shit and everything's Gucci now in 20 and I get it be out in 20 years, then fuck it.
No, I wouldn't do it because you know what?
I didn't do shit, before.
so I'm not gonna take years for somebody else. Well, my microphone's not working. I thought that you.
But again, you're protecting your mom. You're protecting your whole family.
So I did like when they brought up the terrorism thing. He's like, you want to talk terrorists? They just dropped 15 bodies out here. Like it ain't shit to them. And like real talk, like I know it's in the game. I know people are in the struggle, and I know you're selling drug and shit. But like if I was D, I would be looking at it as like my family is a force of evil and bad in this town. Like I am taking like sure what I'm doing is selfish, but also like. In the long run, maybe if it's only for like 6 months, I'm gonna save some lives. Like, I'm sorry, but them being there is an objective bad force.
Yeah, it's hard to say no to your mama.
Somebody's gonna do it, and if it's your family doing it, and if you can
it's
stop
hard
your
to
family,
say no to your mama.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Also from like his mom came in. She's like, your son, man. Did you forget you had a son?
From like also like purely selfish perspective, like he didn't have a choice in like being like having normal childhood and growing up to like picking a career. Because, like, he was born into his family. That means that he got to live a certain kind of life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, there was no choice for him.
He doesn't know better.
Like, fuck this family, man. Like, no, I'm not doing any fucking years. And I'm not doing a fucking day for that.
I don't know, man. My mama came in here. She told me she should take some life from me. I would do it. Fuck.
Sir, what were you about to say, man?
I just wanted to say maybe D's going to become one of those, like, wise people in jail that's trying to, like, give advice, give wisdom to
like
other young people coming in there. And Weebay's gonna be the one that's like shanking people and shit and like.
Right. Same thing, different day for Weebay.
Right.
Shout out to Weebay for munching on fries and copping the murders at the same time.
Bro, I can't believe he was doing
that.
Just
he said, I copped the 4 or 5.
So why were they harping on? Why were they harping on against death with him so much? I didn't get
because
that.
They already had old dude in jail for it.
Yeah.
He did. The way he described it doesn't match the way he was killed at all. He's just taking murders now to like let other people go. He's taking murders for his friends because he's going to jail for life anyway.
Like
so he's just taking murders out for night.
Yeah, they got Bert locked up for game. Remember, Omar was like, yeah, I saw him do it, but like Omar didn't actually see it. So they pulled some shady shit to get Bert locked up for it, even though Bert 100% was the person who did it. And now, if Weebay's like, yeah, I killed that motherfucker, then Bert can get out.
Yeah.
Because like it's if he can like eyewitness it, so they would have to go to court and then fight against it. They'd have to be like, he's lying because of this, that, and the other. But then it might make them have to bring back Omar, and like that would be non-conducive.
You don't want to bring back Omar.
Real quick, Chris, is it considered terrorism when there's like 8 or more bodies or something? Like when there's like mass shootings and shit in the country, isn't it considered terrorism?
But that wasn't like mass shootings. That's more like serial killing in a way.
True. I don't know, man. I feel like or any mass shooting event is a terrorist, even if it's domestic terrorism. But I feel like when it's one group of people, like if you think about a group of terrorists, like their whole entire job is to terrorize and to like enforce their rule over a certain area. And I mean, is that not what they're doing?
So I think that
there's different forms of terrorism, but I just think this was like. Sorry.
They're specifically talking about like post 9/11 terrorism as they understood it.
Yeah, but I mean, we're just asking like a philosophizing question.
Oh, okay. I thought they were talking about.
No. Well, guys, y'all ready to start season 2?
Oh wait, there's so much more stuff, guys. Okay, what do you guys? Wait, okay, Kima. Okay, guys, Kima woke up and her girlfriend wants her to quit. What do you guys think of that?
I mean, yeah,
I understand it, but Kima's not gonna. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think Kima's gonna do it.
They better pay her for another season.
And then I truly enjoyed the fishbowl scene in the parking lot. They had the camera really far away when they're standing in the garage, and then when they're in a group, they had it really close on them in fishbowl faces. That was really dope shots. I admired that. I don't know y'all.
I wanted to say that the acting on this show is phenomenal. Lawrence Gilliard Jr., the guy who plays D'Angelo, and he was in Walking Dead as well. He must be known for his scenes where he shouts iconic lines, cause he's like, "Where's Wallace?" And then in Walking Dead, he was like, "Tainted meat." So I feel like they cast that dude because he's very timid and quiet, but then when he explodes, it's you can feel the emotion from him. So yeah.
I wanted to add that when D'Angelo said that all he wants to do is breathe.
Yeah.
That hits differently now after everything that happened.
It hit a little differently in 2020.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Carver coming up? He looked kind of not very happy to be getting them stars or chevrons or whatever pinned on his chest. He looked kind of indifferent about it.
Personally, I really like that Daniel told Carver, hey, if you're going to be doing this, you need to be a good, leader or, a good worker kind of thing. That was very inspiring, and I liked that. I think that, did well for him.
Well, it sucks because I think Herc actually would have done better. Because, they actually showed Herc doing what Daniels was advising Carver to do. But, Herc was doing it without even hearing it. And, Herc was upset that he didn't make it. Because they're oh, it's my prior, whatever called brutality cases.
Brutality cases, but he easily has six. Let's not even pretend he ain't got.
So, I have a question about Carver. Didn't they say Carver said that the reason he did it because he never got a chance to go up to the 8th floor or something like that? So did they purposely always try to keep him down because of his skin color?
No, I think he was just saying that he's never even had a chance to talk to the higher management of the police people before. They never noticed him. Not that they were trying to keep him down.
Okay.
But just that it was his first time getting an opportunity to take that step forward. Because it's the thing when they said where it's you climb that political ladder, it gets slipperier the higher you go. And so this was somebody tapping him for the first time and being hey, I need you to inform on what's happening. And Burrell's probably there's a fucking sergeant position. And I hear you're about to do your sergeant's test soon. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it be a shame if you took the test and then you weren't able to become a sergeant? Wow. And you saw Herc and Carver both take that money that one time. So, they're willing to play the game however it needs
Chris,
to be
you just, they were playing that Jacob's Ladder song at the end, which said the exact same thing. It's slippery when you go to the top. So I don't know if you did that on purpose, but yeah, that was literally the actual lyrics of that song.
I can't believe they do 3 parts, 1 part coke. That's so fucked up. Parking lot sex, woo! And then Lester is hella smooth. Lester's the coolest person in the world.
He's smooth as hell.
Is Lester, is he smacking or are we just not speaking?
You saw, she gave me a kiss on the cheek. You already know what's up.
That's very father-like, though.
I fully enjoy Lester's presence and his, intelligence and police work. I do think that he abused power in this relationship. But that's all I'm gonna say about it.
With all the things coming full circle, Poot saying exactly what Dee said, this might be one of the most perfect seasons of television I've seen. Mm-hmm. Just from
that was well-rounded.
I literally do not disagree with you. That's it, man.
It was a good finale. It was so funny to see Weebay come out in his boxers and everything. In that scene, they did good.
I only see the meme face now. Every time. He's stuck in meme mode.
No, they do not. They do when it comes to arresting the soldiers, how they got Bird, was it Bird? Yeah, it was Bird. They do not give you a chance. Bird walked out of the spot and got hit in the face with a bottle.
That is assault.
They got a window broken, came out in his drawers upset in just a moment of being upset, and before that motherfucker could blink, he was oh fuck. He's all right, yeah, y'all got me.
I forgot about
it's just him in boxers and soggy socks, and that's the worst. Soggy socks going to jail can't be a win.
Dude, I think it takes some kind of crazy mental fortitude to be one of these soldiers, because just knowing that at any moment the police are gonna jump out of a bag of fries and beat your ass. How are you supposed to live your day to day?
I just want to say one last thing, and then I'm done.
That was a good show.
All the problems presented in the show there's no real solution. Like, what is a solution? So we scrap the system and create a different one. Like, this is just how it is.
Yes.
And it's
decriminalize
messed
drugs.
up.
Decriminalize drugs.
There's no way to solve this. Like,
Decriminalize
does someone
drugs.
have like a thesis, or
have
did
to
someone
make
write
it
like
so
an
that the
essay?
demand isn't.
Like, how do
I don't know. Like, that's the thing, is that, like, The Wire feels so real because, like, even though it's a great show to watch at the end of every season, you're like, and the wheel keeps turning.
Yeah.
We need Khaleesi to break the wheel.
God, that scene with
I'm
all
kidding,
the pictures
I'm
of the
kidding,
murders too. Ugh. No, this was good. This was a good season. This was a great season finale. I'm so happy we got to watch this and everything.
Yeah, I'm ready for the next one.
Also, shout out to Dustin. It really feels like I'm getting to watch the show with you. I think me and Dustin kind of feel the same about the show, and I'm glad you're the editor, buddy.
Yeah, I did.
Dustin!
And shout out to Mickey. Here's his comments right now.
Oh, hey, Mickey. And shout out to you guys for watching along with us. We love you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Stringer and Avon's still cool though.
All right, The Wire, episode 13, season 1 finale, sentencing. Let's talk about it. Sentencing kind of all around for both sides. You know, we promotions, demotions, transfers, actual sentencings. It was a very, very good episode. So Kima is alive, and I thought it was very interesting in the first scene that she was not willing to fully identify Weebay as one of the shooters. Even though, you know, like, Bunk tried to get her to do it, and that would have made the case easier, and Weebay is a, you know, shitty person, so it would have seemed fine in that scenario, but if you take that tactic in any other case, maybe they're talking about somebody who's innocent, and like 5 out of 6 pieces fit, and they just need to make this one thing fit to make it go easier in court. It's not ethical, and that's why the law has to be unbiased for good people and bad people. It can't be like subjective, because that leads to the law being abused. So I thought it was really big for Kima to not identify Weebay, because she wasn't sure about it, and it was surprising. I thought she would have done that, but that's especially for being the victim of the shooting, you'd think she'd be really angry about it, and I'm sure she is, but it was really big for her to not fully identify Weebay. Herc and Carver's whole storyline this episode was pretty cool, especially with the twist that we found out that Carver was the snitch inside the task force. You know, not by his own choice. I understand he got caught up in it, but it was just interesting. Like, Herc is dogging on Carver the whole time about becoming sergeant, and of course Carver ends up becoming sergeant, but not because he passed the test, because remember, Herc actually did better on the test than Carver did, but it was a favor from Burrell, so that's kind of shitty, because Herc, although I don't think Herc really deserved it either, because, you know, he was talking about like how he has brutality cases, like Herc still doesn't quite understand the error of his ways, although we saw some growth from him too towards the end of the episode when he was giving the pep talk to the new blood. He was actually giving good advice. He was like, you know, that tough guy shit doesn't work out there, and you actually got to think. And I was actually surprised that he actually gave good advice. So there's moments where, you know, you see a lot of growth from Herc, but then he's still Herc, you know, but he's got a long way to go. And the biggest thing this episode obviously was they were trying to take the case federal, and we learned a lot about why that's such a tough thing to do, especially at this time in 2002. We learned all about the 9/11 protocols and how they're not taking drug cases, and even though they were able to connect it to corruption, they wanted to then turn Barksdale and Stringer into cooperators to take down Senator Clay Davis, which pretty much all the hard work they've done would have been for essentially nothing. It's just, again, you see, like, I mean, you know, the federal is completely different from local police and how they operate and stuff, so obviously there's going to be some disconnect there, but again, it's just another case of like people not being able to work together or seeing the bigger picture or really doing work in terms of public service. It's just like, what's the biggest fish that we can catch? And I'm sure catching Clay Davis would be a big thing, but again, it's all gray areas in how they accomplish these things. Like, people that are bad end up getting away with things because they can give information on the next bigger fish. So it sucks that they weren't able to take it federal, but that was kind of a long shot anyways. And I really like the scene with Stringer, Levy, and Barksdale when they first get out of when they get him out on his bail, which, by the way, he paid $250,000 for the bail, and then Stringer says it hurts to even show that kind of money. So it just shows you how careful these guys were. They have millions in the bank, but they never flashed it. You know what I mean? Like, they had nice cars, but not so nice that it would, you know, bring any attention to it. Even in the episode where McNulty's kids noted down Stringer's license plate, I think he was driving like a Toyota Corolla, just like a very normal car. So it just shows, one, how much money they really have, and two, how super careful they were as much as they could try. And the scene where they're in the parking garage, it was just a really tense scene because the use of the extreme close-ups was really good, because you really got to be in the headspace of each character, and you really got to see like the micro emotions on their face. Like, the use of the extreme close-up in that scene was really, really good. And Levy is just like a very smart dude, and he was talking about the structured plea, which is the tactic I think they ended up going with at the end of the episode. I think everybody like got jail time collectively, but like nothing really happened, right? Like nothing really changed. You just see this new level of paranoia within Stringer and Barksdale. Like, at the funeral home, they're not even talking indoors anymore. Like, it's a new level of paranoia. And D flips, and I really like that scene of D's interrogation where he's giving up all the information. It was really, really well acted by Lawrence. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Gilliard? But really good acting from him in that scene. You could really see the hurt that he's gone through, especially after losing Wallace. That was like the biggest loss for him, and it was such a big loss that he's willing to turn on his own family. And I don't believe that he got the end result he wanted, because there is no witness protection in Baltimore, and obviously they weren't able to make the case go federal, so I think he got 20 years. So it's just losses all around. But good on D for flipping, because he was right, man. I mean, even families can be emotionally abusive, and I think he was just he was caught up in a world that he was never meant to be in, but he had no choice. And it was just a really powerful scene, really well acted. And Daniels vaguely was talking to Marla, his wife, about the money, so there is something there. It's still not fully clear what happened, but Daniels and Marla definitely took money that maybe didn't belong to them, or some kind of kickback. I don't know. There's something there. We still don't fully know the full picture there. But Daniels is a pretty changed man at the end of this season compared to where he started. Like, he's very much willing to go against his superiors and do the right thing. Even when he catches Carver as the snitch, instead of yelling at him, he just gives him a pep talk of like, hey, you're sergeant now, and people are going to be relying on you, and whatever your behavior is what your team is going to do. So you got to decide if this is about you or the work. So the growth of Daniels from episode 1 to now has just been really phenomenal. I think he's grown a lot just in this one season, and I think he's one of the few characters that has gotten a good amount of growth in just this one season. Everybody has gotten growth, but I feel like Daniel's more so than the others. And a couple more emotional scenes. Well, one emotional scene when McNulty finally goes to visit Kima, and he says something that I didn't even think about before. And he said, on a case like this, it's always you or Sidner or some other black cop that ends up going undercover. And I never even thought about it like that, but it makes perfect sense because, Baltimore is primarily a black community, so if any undercover work needs to be done, it falls on the black officers, because McNulty, I'm sure he would do undercover work if he could, but he would stick out like a sore thumb, you know what I mean? Like, nobody would buy that. So I never even thought about that until he said that, and that just kind of stood out to me. And, followed into the next scene when McNulty's giving Bubbles the money. Again, I'm just going to gush about Andre Arroyo's performance. So good. Just the shame in his face and in his body language when he like tries to give the money back but then ends up taking it anyways and then goes immediately to buy drugs. It was just, Andre Arroyo uses a lot of subtleties and he really like acts with his body and his body language, and man, he's just so good. It's just one of the best performances in the show, and that was a really, really sad scene because obviously he's back on the addiction. He didn't quite make it to being clean. He attempted to get clean, but I think addiction is like trying to get clean from addiction is like falling up a mountain. You know, it's chaotic and it's not just the A to B destination. There's a lot of trial and error involved with it, and people struggle with it for years. So I think, you know, this is one of the more realistic depictions of an addict trying to get clean in a television show that we've seen. And Andre Arroyo's performance, just I love every scene that he's in. He's by far one of my favorite characters from the show. But the biggest thing, going back to the federal meeting where they were trying to get the case federal, the biggest thing we found out was finally the game that Barksdale was playing with Clay Davis, and he was paying off politicians to get intel about any redevelopment projects coming up. And remember, we talked about the GDC, the GB, the GBC, the Greater Baltimore Committee, that Marla is a chairman of, and they are responsible for all of the redevelopment stuff that goes on around the city. So now you see how the pieces are connected to the overall bigger picture, and now we're getting into real estate and redevelopment and gentrification and politicians, and it's unfolding into something massive, and they pretty much laid it out pretty clearly in that meeting. And that's why Barksdale had invested into all of those empty properties, because he knows well ahead of time what's coming for the city. That is genius and incredibly fucked up at the same time. But now we're getting to the meat of some really big things. And I'm kind of bouncing around here, but when Daniels was giving the pep talk to Carver, it was a really good contrast at the end of the scene when Daniels goes to give Prez his gun back, because Prez has also gotten a significant amount of growth this season. He was a complete shithead at the beginning of the season. I hated him at the beginning of the season, and where he is now, he's shown a huge change. Obviously, he's a much better in-house cop, I would say. He's very good with working with information, and I think he really found his footing quickly and was able to contribute in a more positive way. So it was just a good sign of respect from Daniels, and just a really good contrast from Carver's conversation to Daniels giving Prez's gun back. It was really nice. Another cool scene was the when they arrested Bay, just to see that operation go down. I really love when they do arrests in this show, and they have like, you know, semi-sting operations for the, like, oh man, I can't remember who they arrested earlier in the season, but it was the one where Lester just spins around and hits the dude in the face with a bottle. Like, these are all stories pulled from real life, so you can imagine them doing this in real life, and all these different tactics that they use to subdue the person quickly and bring it down with as little violence as possible usually. But yeah, it was a cool scene. Really cool to see the police at work and how they went about doing that. And of course, you know, then the meeting with Levy and Rhonda, where he's like essentially saying what he wants to say, but he's protected by 2 words: maybe we. That's all he has to say, to essentially say whatever he wants to say without there being any real accountability, because he could be like, oh, I wasn't serious, I was just spitting ideas. But he just keeps saying, well, maybe we do this, and maybe we do this, and if we do this, then maybe you do this. And it's just very cool to see, you know, the lawyer side of things at work. And Levy is such a piece of shit character, but he's also one of my favorites because his performance is also very good. He just plays that part so well. You can see him, you know, he got them to agree to the structured plea, and everybody involved honestly didn't get that much time. Barksdale got like 7 years at the end. That's nothing, dude. That's like, on the grand scheme of things, is nothing. And most of the money, most of the properties, most of the operation is still protected. And it was just a good little ending to the show, because we go back to the pit. The couch has changed. You know, there's a new couch. Poot and Bodie are running shit. There's new blood. Some kid named Dink. Poot was eating chicken nuggets while he was yelling at Dink for doing the switch off wrong. And you remember the chicken nugget story from earlier in the season. Just really good callbacks and really good payoffs to everything. Even when they were talking to D'Angelo and they're showing the crime photos of all of the different things that have happened throughout this season that seemed like they weren't really connected, and it all connects at the end. And remember, all the pieces matter. It's just a very well-written show, tightly written show, really good finale. We saw where everybody kind of ended up at the end. Santangelo's back working the beat. Carver is made sergeant. McNulty ended up in the Marine unit. Lester took McNulty's position, so they kind of, flip sides, and that's exactly what Lester said would happen to him at the end, when he was asked, where don't you want to go? So McNulty's in the Marine unit, so I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. We'll get to season 2 shortly, but at the end you just see the game just continuing. Drugs are still being sold all over the place. Omar's still out there robbing people. So, what really changed? What did we really accomplish here? A lot of people made career cases, everybody kept coming up to McNulty, Rhonda, the judge, everybody kept coming up to him and be like, great case, huge case, career case right here. But you see the result of it in the streets, and it's like, what really changed? Nothing. There's nothing different. Life is still continuing. They're still selling drugs. So I guess the overall question is, this whole war on drugs, are we going about it the right way? And if not, what is the right way? What is really the solution to this? Because all that really happens is police catch the criminals, which forces the criminals to switch up their tactics, which forces the police to switch up their tactics, which forces them. It's just a constant back and forth. So it's just, what really changed? Nothing really changed at the end of the season, besides people just ending up in different places and the task force being done for. But yeah, man, very cool. Obviously a really awesome season. I'm very excited for season 2. You might be seeing some new faces on the couch for season 2, not me, because I'm really enjoying doing this format, watching the episode at my own pace and just doing a really nitty-gritty deep dive. I'm really enjoying this format. I hope you are too. But do let me know in the comments if this is something you want to continue seeing, because I do enjoy doing it for the people that like this more deep dive of each episode. But let me know in the comments if this is something that you want to continue seeing. Other than that, we will see you for season 2. Peace out.
Thanks for watching The Wire with the Normies. Check us out on Patreon for early access and uncut content. Special shout out to our super patrons: Exploring Dylan, Ruby, Aaron, Joe Mags, Harry MacFan, Mr. Momus, Nick Comfort, Flower House, Keyboard Junkie, and ZJP, and we'll see you all next time.